Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lance with Love to Hate, back again with another unboxing video. Today I have for you Awkward Guests 2 from Megacorp Games. Alright, so this is Awkward Guests 2, and as you might guess, this is the sequel to Awkward Guests, which is largely considered by a lot of people the best deduction game of all time. And this is the sequel, the two-player version of the game, the Berwick Cases. Now, if you'll recall from the first Awkward Guests, you had the Berwick sisters, the twins. Well, they are the victims in this game. They're the ones who have been murdered, and this is a two-player game where you not only are trying to solve the murder for one of the sisters, but you are also the orchestrator of the murder for the other sister. And so you are trying to battle it out against the other player, trying to solve their orchestrated crime for you to figure out before they can solve your crime that you have orchestrated for them to figure out. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, this is the Kickstarter edition. I did back this on Kickstarter. This is not a review copy. This is my own copy. So this is a non-sponsored video. So let me show you the back of the box on this one. Let's go ahead and take this plastic actually off so that you can get that sheen off of there. There we go. This says, the game of dice, mystery, and deduction that offers you the challenge of not only solving the homicide of one of the Berwick twins, but also of orchestrating the murder of the other one. Just a week apart from each other, the Berwick twins were found murdered, and you have been entrusted with the task of finding the culprits. Will you solve your case before your rival solves theirs? This is a standalone board game. You do not need awkward guests. The Walton Case, which is the first one, to play it. It is for two players, ages 12 and up, 30 to 40 minutes, and orchestrate the perfect crime. Now, this is the base game. We've got the stretch goals box, which we're going to set that off to the side. We will open that up here in just a second, but let's first see what's in this base game box. Now, right off the bat, we've got the rule book. The rulebook is, let's see, it looks to be about 24 pages long, which is a longer rulebook than I suspected for this game originally, because I don't believe this to be super difficult, not nearly as complex as the base game, although I guess maybe there is still quite a bit going on in this game. Pretty stellar deduction, use of deduction with the first game, and from what I know about the sequel here, this is going to be right in line with that. So yeah, really excited to try this out. I love Awkward Guests. I do think it's probably the best deduction game. I'm right there with some of the other people who feel that way. So really interested to see how this one works. So this is the rule book. Let's go ahead and move on and see what else is in here. Now, you are going to have some player shields in this game, just like you did in the base game, and these player shields are going to tell you about some of the rules with the game. So there you go. That is a nice feature with these player shields. And on the back side, we do have some artwork of the Berwick sisters, as well as the logo of the game. And I would assume that this shield is going to be exactly like the other shield, so there you go. But let's see what else we have. We've got the main board. And this main board is going to be chipboard. I would guess it's maybe about 4 millimeters thick. But anyhow, this is the Beatrice side, which how this game works is that you're going to have this in the center of the playing area, and one player who is trying to solve Beatrice's murder is going to use this side of the board, and then on the back side of the board is going to be Bernice, and the other player is going to be using this side of the board. You'll be flipping this board back and forth as you play the rounds, trying to figure out the murders. And so there you go. Now, you do have the paper playing boards. On one side is the Beatrice side, and on the flip side is going to be the Bernice side. If I can get this, there you go. So there's the Bernice side on the back side. And These are smaller than the paper player boards from the original game. As you can see, it fits in this size of a box, and so this is going to be a lot easier for you to laminate. I know the other ones were massive. They were like legal-sized paper, and so you had to have special-sized lamination sheets in order to laminate those ones from the base game. So you're not going to have that problem be the case with this one. So you do have lots to use if you don't want to laminate those, so that's nice. But anyhow, you've got that, and then you have this insert, which is going to hold your cards and your dice. Let's take a look at these dice real quick. You do have 3 custom dice in the game, and these are etched and painted, if you can see that. I'm not sure. But anyhow, you have 3 dice here. And the way this game works is you're going to roll these dice to determine what actions you get to do, and then it's kind of like Yahtzee style. You get to lock in however many of these 3 dice you want to lock in, and then re-roll the rest. But after your second roll, you're locked in with whatever you have. You can discard 1 die to be able to turn another die to whatever face you need it to be, but then you only have 2 actions to use for that round. So that's how the dice rolling action part of the game goes. And then we do have some cards, so let's go ahead and open these off camera. All right, so here we go with the different cards. Now, these cards are going to be linen finished. They're pretty nice cards, and they are smaller. They're not your typical poker-sized cards or Euro poker cards. They're also not the mini-sized cards, so this is kind of an unusual size of card, I believe. Could be wrong. They might be the mini size. I'm not 100% sure. But anyhow, you've got cards to be using for the Bernice case and cards to be using for the Beatrice case. And what these cards are going to have on them, you're going to have the different types of murder weapons used to commit the crime. And you are going to have the different pathways. If you're not familiar with the original Awkward Guess game, you not only needed to find like the murder weapon and all of that, but you needed to kind of figure out what path did the criminal take through the mansion. And that would help you to figure out, well, what murder weapon could the criminal pick up along the way? And that is still a part of the Berwick cases, as you are trying to figure out a path for your criminal to the scene of the crime. And again, you're trying to figure out, well, what murder weapon could they have picked up along the way? So yeah, that's a fun thing with the game. These are going to be your 2 cards that you use whenever you think you don't know the answer to the case. You're going to reveal this card, and when you do think you know the answer to the case, you would reveal that card. Now, these cards for the other case, they're going to be exactly like these. It's just one for one player, one for the other player. So that's what you got here in the base game. Let's go ahead and pull out the box for the stretch goals and see what's in there, because that, honestly, I'm not 100% sure what is in the stretch goals box. But here you go. Awkward Guess to the Berwick cases. Let's open this up. Like I said, I backed this on Kickstarter, but I didn't follow the campaign super closely. I just backed it because I know I wanted it. So I'm not 100% sure what's in here. Oh, we got some lamination boards, so I'm not even going to have to laminate these. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you get lamination sheets with the stretch goals here, and it looked like there were some markers in there too. But let's see what else there are. So you got 2 of those, and we've got some standees of the different suspects. And if you're familiar with the Awkward Guess art style, it's pretty like grotesque. It's over the top a little bit. And as you can see, they fulfill that here with this particular version of the game. If you take a look at these characters, man, they are pretty hideous. But anyhow, you do have some standees for the different characters. Not sure if you really even need this in the gameplay. It's much more so for looks. That's kind of how some of the stretch goals were for the original game, that a lot of them were just for looks. But you do have some markers here and a bag, and it looks like, this is a coin. And so this is a metal coin. On one side it says Beatrice, and then on the other side it says Bernice, and maybe you flip this to determine who gets to be the start player. We do have a really nice cloth bag with the logo of the game on the front. This is like velvet. That's pretty cool. And then inside we have some custom dice. And so we have 3 new dice to be able to use in the game. Or perhaps these 3 dice, since they are kind of more of the burgundy color, maybe one player uses these dice and the other player uses the other dice. Maybe that's what's going on here with this. So that's pretty cool. But these are the stretch goals. These are not what you would get if you back or if you got the retail version of the game. These are special stretch goals. So, but anyhow, that is what comes inside of Awkward Guests 2 from Megacorpin Games. We are going to try to get this played before the end of the year and see if it maybe makes our top 10 for 2024 because, like I said, the first one, my favorite deduction game of all time. Very interested to see how the 2-player version plays out. Anyhow, I'm Lance, and this is Love to Hate. If you like this video, please, please, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of all of our great new content. And here on Love to Hate, we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.